Why do people praise men for being
But it's
providers, but shame them for wanting appreciation?
I never shame a man for wanting appreciation. I
shut
give
up.
my man appreciation every day, and you better ask him.
How can women say that masculinity is toxic at the same time they want men to perform?
Ooh.
I think it's confusion. There's a fine line.
Damn.
So I think like in this society, we've kind of lost a little bit of it, but there's a fine line of being taken care of and being a provider to your family, and it kind of exploiting that.
At what point does this responsibility stop being noble and start feeling like exploitation?
I think to the point of when women are using and abusing it, right? So like women are like, oh, you're a man, so pay all my bills and take care of me 100%. But then I'm just using you for that instead of an actual intimate relationship.
Can a man reject this burden? And if not, what does that say about his freedom?
So a man can
so
reject this burden. However, it might not play well for him in the sexual marketplace.
Ooh.
A man can reject it, but he's not a real man.
What does that do to his dating options, and why?
It makes him very slim because he's not a real man.
Because
Isn't it interesting how the man answered that question in a little bit more of an empathetic way, but then the woman came in and, he ain't a real man, that's a bitch-ass ninja. You're like, God damn, woman.
Why don't women have a burden of performance to become better partners?
Oh, I want to hear her answer.
If they don't want to be viewed as a mere sexual object?
It's gonna be stupid.
I think we like sexuality, and we are objects. We're all objects. And just take your role and go with it.
How would you feel if society expected women to always pay for men, open doors, and protect them physically, not as a choice but as a duty? Would that still feel like romance or feel like an unfair burden placed on women?
I feel like we need the men to do that. It's for security.
Why is it not an unfair burden when that's placed on men?
Fool.
Because that's the roles. It's gender roles. I give you the pussy and you open the
Oh
doors.
my God. She must be from Atlanta, baby. I see her a dime a dozen all day. Half kind of pretty, but cooked. Charbroiled. Never listen to a transactional young lady like this ever again. In fact, these types of mindsets is one of the mindsets that have led to the fall of the modern woman, and at least men rationalizing the modern woman for long-term relationships, if not marriage, today. My G's, don't you ever settle for a young lady that talks about her value is just within her box or her coochie. Because these are the same types of women that will weaponize her coochie within a relationship, within a marriage, to get her goddamn way.